Ladies and gentlemen, it's Thursday night, so you know what that means. Welcome to the Highspots virtual gimmick table. I have an incredible guest, someone who I've had a crush on my entire life. So I'm already sweating just sitting there. My entire life. So sitting next to her, I'm already sweating, but I will allow her to introduce herself to all the fans out there in internet land.
Hi, y'all. I'm Wendi Richter, and I'm so happy to be here. I've heard a lot about Highspots, and I'm finally here.
Yeah, Wendi Richter is in the building. Miss Richter, if it's okay with you, I'd like to ask you a few questions. Well, more specifically, I'd like to say names, places, or things, and just have you talk about them for as long as or as little as you want.
Okay, sounds good.
We'll kick things off with an easy one. We're kicking off with an easy one. Miss Cyndi Lauper.
You know, the first time I ever heard of her, the song Girls Just Want to Have Fun came out, and that was my favorite song. And when her manager contacted me, it was like a dream come true that he asked if I would represent her in a wrestling match against the fabulous Moolah and Lou Albano. And I thought, wow, I've only been in wrestling maybe 4 years. I thought that would be a really good break.
Absolutely, and it was absolutely incredible. Speaking of the fabulous Moolah,
You know, she did a lot for wrestling to a point, and then she kind of oppressed it. Now women's wrestling is so different without her in the picture. She just couldn't let it go. She always had to be a part of it, and at one time I had to give her a percentage of how much I made because I trained at her camp in the very beginning. So a lot of people don't know this, but I had to give her 25% of my income for the first 4 years. And then finally, after I took the belt, I was able to negotiate and get my own check instead of it going through her.
Absolutely. Joyce Grable.
You know, she just passed away recently.
Yes, last year.
I went to her funeral. What a wonderful person. I just loved her. We were tag team champions 2 different times, and she taught me a lot in the ring, and I have the most respect for her. I miss her. I think about her a lot. She's a good person, and she was an excellent woman wrestler.
Anatolian Shepherd dogs.
That's my breed. I show Anatolians. Matter of fact, I had the #1 ranked Anatolian Shepherd in 2022, and that was an honor because it's tough competition. I have 2 of them in the top 10 this past year, but I have a litter on the way. They're going to be here May the 15th.
Ooh. So if people want them, they can reach out to you and get an award-winning dog.
I probably keep them all. I don't know about letting any of them go.
Oh, wow. 10 dogs. That's a lot of dogs. That's a lot of dogs to keep. Like, how do you maintain that?
Well, some people have 100. I mean, that's all relative.
Wow.
They're my family.
Absolutely. Sputnik Monroe.
You know what? He was I didn't ever see him wrestle. I only saw him as a referee. But he was the person I contacted to get into wrestling. And he gave me a person's name and phone number, and that's how it all began.
Wow.
Yeah.
Kokomo, Indiana.
How'd you get that information?
You're a Hall of Famer. We got to know these things.
My grandparents on my father's side lived in Kokomo. So I'll never forget, after I won the belt, I went to visit my grandparents, and I was jogging with, I think, a cousin. It was early in the morning. It was just turned daylight, and people ran out in the yard, and they recognized me. In Kokomo.
Wow.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow.
Was that your first, was that your I've made it moment?
I guess so, because I had my hair back in a ponytail. I had a sweatsuit on. You know, I wasn't in my, I didn't stand out, I'll put it that way. And they ran out in the yard. It's like, wow.
Athol Foley.
Well, that's not how the fans pronounced his name.
Oh, how is it pronounced?
Athole.
Oh, wow. Wow.
I wrestled him, in Calgary, the Stampede Wrestling, and I won too. He was about my size. Yeah, it was really funny because they'd all chant "Athole, Athole" instead. They were saying "ath." They just kind of broke it up instead of "Athole, Athole."
Bill Watts.
Bill Watts. He was. He had wrestling in Louisiana, and matter of fact, I saw him at the Hall of Fame probably 4 or 5 years ago. I always respected his wrestling promotion. He had really good wrestling, and he was part of my reason I got into wrestling, because I really enjoyed watching his television program, wrestling.
Absolutely.
Deep South Wrestling, I believe, is the name of it.
Yes, ma'am. Steak, that's right?
Yeah, close enough.
The movie All the Marbles.
Well, that was a wrestling movie, women's wrestling. I didn't actually watch it, but maybe one day I'll watch it when I get some free time.
We'll see if we can get you a copy of that one.
Oh, do you have that?
Maybe. We probably have everything around here. I don't know if they gave you the tour of the building. We've got everything
No,
here.
they only showed me where I was working past couple hours.
Oh, Michael, we got to get her a tour before she leaves. Rowdy Roddy Piper.
He was part of the Rock and Wrestling Connection. He had Piper's Pit with Cyndi Lauper and Lou Albano. It's a shame he passed away before we could induct Cyndi into the Hall of Fame.
And he inducted you into the Hall of Fame.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Rooster Cogburn.
Isn't that John Wayne?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Yeah, growing up, he was my favorite actor. He's still right up there, too.
Absolutely.
I grew up with watching Westerns and True Grit. Those were my favorite movies.
That was a great film. Absolutely great film. The last name I'm going to say, and this is very, very relevant, and I'm going to read the quote. It's from Timeless Tony Storm. And she says, "Tony, I don't care how much you're going to yell at me for this after, but yes, there is quite the free agent out there, isn't there? There is money written all over it. Wendi Richter, I'm going to bleep you up." Do you have thoughts about what the current reigning and defending AEW Women's Champion has called you out?
Well, I didn't even know she'd been calling me out. Someone told me that she did it on a regular basis.
Yeah, she did it, and then last week her right-hand person, Mariah May, also said that you were afraid of Toni Storm.
Well, money does talk. If they could cough up enough money, I'd take her on. I'd even give her the first swing.
Whoa!
Bring it, Tony. You think you can beat me? I'd like to see it.
Oh!
I'm not afraid.
Wendi Richter, Toni Storm, all out confirmed. No, I'm kidding, guys. Ma'am, you are deeply devout in your religion. Are there any special organizations, charities, or anything that you think the fans should learn more about? So maybe if they want to become as devout as you are.
Oh, I would say go to your local church. I go to the Church of God where I live, and I think you should give to your local church because they have their own programs for people that maybe can't, put enough food on the table, and they help with their light bills and sometimes their rent. But I wouldn't really call myself a religious person. I'm very spiritual, and I have a personal relationship with God. So I really don't. I look at the church like a hospital. Everyone there, there's something wrong with everyone there. And there's no one's perfect. And I hear people say, well, I'm not going to sit beside a hypocrite. Well, everyone is to a certain extent. So you just try to go by the golden rule and treat people the way you would like to be treated.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. Is it okay if I get a hug so that my boyhood, dreams can become true in reality?
Yes.
Yay! Incredible. And you smell good. She smells good, y'all.
You.
Is there anything you want to plug into that camera right there where they can find you on social media, any upcoming events, anything you want to plug for the fans at home?
Well, I'm going to be in WrestleCade in August here in North Carolina. I really don't go on my Facebook page very much at all. I don't have time, but
But 10 dogs, of course there's no time.
and with the litter, it's going to be more than that.
Wow.
Yeah, I'll be busy.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been a true honor. The one and only, the great, the Hall of Famer, the girl that just wanted to have fun the most, the one and only Wendi Richter. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me here. It's been fun.
And we'll be back with more VGT right after this.